Om. 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 Om Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyadilaksham Ekam Nityam Vimalamachalam Sarvadhi Sakshi Bhutam Bhavatitam Trigunarahitam Sadgurum Tam Namami Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavat Padam Shankaram Loka Shankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punav Punaha Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Vande Guru Paramparam Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryankara Vavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvi Shavahai Om Shanti 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 Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. Jai Gurudev Bila, you can start.
Jai Gurudev. Brahmaraji 43rd shloka we completed, right? Yesterday? Or I think we... Yeah.
We finished even this. I think it is the 44th one.
Okay. Let's read the previous paragraph of 43rd verse and then we move to the 44th shloka. Arjuna addresses Krishna here as Apratima Prabhava, whose glory is matchless. His powers are unequal anywhere. Pratima is that by which you are able to illustrate something. A replica like a statue person, for example. It is created in the form of a person and you recognize it as a representation of him. Suppose I want to create an equivalent Ishvara. What will I create? The whole Jagat is Ishvara. His glory cannot be limited, nor can a symbol be created which will represent Parmeshwara. We only create a Pratima and then let it stand for Ishvara. We cannot create real Pratima for Parmeshwara because nothing is separate from him. Glory and power are incomparable. Arjuna praises Parameshwara as he has understood. Tasmat pranamya pranidhaya kayam prasadaye tvamahamisha medyam पितेव पुत्रस्य सखेव सख्युः प्रियः प्रियार्यार्हसि देव सोढुम्. Tasmat, therefore, kayam pranidhaya, properly laying down the body, pranamya, saluting, aham prasadaye, I seek the blessing, tvam isham, idiom of you who are the Lord and who are worshipful Lord, Deva, O Lord, Pita eva putrasya, like a father, the mistakes of a son. Sakha eva sakyuhu, like a friend, the mistakes of a friend. Priyaha eva priyayaha, like a beloved, the mistakes of his beloved. Sodum arhasi, you should forgive. I think this also we had done, but
we had actually completed this, Bela.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can go to the next one, I think.
Yeah.
And it is Pita Iva. Pita Iva. Iva. That's a small E, not the big E, not the long one.
Pita Iva. Okay. Dhanyavad. So I'll just read the last paragraph. He understands that Krishna is the creator of the world, while he is only like a putra with reference to his sharira. In given upadhi, the jiva is like a son of Parmeshwara. When Arjuna says Krishna is his friend, he understands that Parmeshwara as Antaryami is always available like a friend. He comes along in all escapades of Jiva. Wherever Buddhi goes, Atma also joins, never protesting like a friend. Therefore, because Atma is Buddhi Sakshi, Atma is like a friend. Then Atma is Ananda Rupa and therefore beloved Priya. And I am the one who seeks Atma, the source of Ananda. Ananda is Atma and therefore I am the lover of Ananda. Therefore I become the beloved. Therefore Arjuna is invoking all these relationships in Bhagavan, who is not different than Atma, which is Brahman Parameshwara. अदृष्टपूर्वं रशितोऽस्मि दृष्ट्वा भयेन च प्रव्यथितं मनो मे तदेव मे दर्शय देवरूपं प्रसीद देवेश जगन्निवास. Deva, O Lord, Drishtva, seeing, Adrishta Purvam, what is not seen before, Rashita Asmi, I am happy. I hope I am reading correct. Rashita Tah Asmi. Rashita Asmi. Bhayenacha, and with fear. Manah me, my mind. Pravyathitam is afflicted. Devesha, O Lord of the gods, Jagannivasa, O Lord of the world, Prasida, be pleased. Tava Tadeva Rupam, only that original form of yours, may darshaya. Please show me. I think this also we had done. No problem, I am repeating. Deva Drishtva Adrishta Purvam Rishitah Asmi Bhayena cha Manah me Pravyathitam Devesha Jagannivasa Prasida Tava Tadeva Rupam Darshaya. O Lord, seeing what has not been seen before, I am happy, and my mind is afflicted with fear. O Lord of the gods, O Lord of the world, be pleased, please show me only that original form of yours. This cosmic form has not been seen before by anybody. adrishta purvam. Not only has Arjuna not seen it, no one else has ever seen it. Arjuna says, I am very happy. Rishitah asmi. But he has mixed feelings. It is wonderful seeing the Vishwarupa, but seeing all the destruction, he is also frightened. My mind is afflicted with fear. Bhayena cha pravyathitam manah me. Like a Gujarati pickle, hot and sweet, this is Arjuna's condition. He is really excited about seeing something nobody has seen. That is the particular feeling he mentions here, a kind of one-upmanship. This is over and above his joy at the sheer magnificence of the form. At the same time, it is very frightening. Seeing this, his mind is disturbed by fear. Therefore, he says, please show me that original form of yours, tad eva me darshaya rupam, the form which he had looked upon as a great friend. He addresses Krishna here as Devesha, Lord of all Devas, and the one in whom the whole world exists, Jagannivasa, and says, please bless me with the old form. But before that, he wants to see something else. This also we had done, but it is very beautiful shloka, so I will quickly browse through. Kiritinam gadinam chakrahastam ichhami tvam drashtumaham tathaiva tenaiva rupena chaturbhujena sahasrabaho bhava vishwamurte tatha eva, so too aham, I, tvam, you, kiritinam, as one who has a crown, gadinam, as one who has a mace, chakrahastam, as one who has a disc in hand, drashtum ichhami, I wish to see sahasrabaho, O Lord of 1,000 arms, Vishwamurte, O Lord, who is in the form of the world, Tena eva rupena, as this form alone, Chaturbhujena, which has 4 hands, Bhava, may you become. So too, I wish to see you as one who has a crown, a mace, and a disc in hand. O Lord of 1,000 arms, O Lord, who is in the form of the world, may you become this form alone, which has 4 hands. This is a popular form in which Lord Vishnu is worshipped. He is described repeatedly in the Bhagavata and other Puranas as having 4 hands, in one a conch, Shankha, in other a disc, Chakra, in the third a mace, Gada, and fourth offers protection. Arjuna wants to see this form which people worship. Arjuna must also have worshipped that form. He asks Krishna to appear in that particular form before he returns to the form of Arjuna's friend. He says, similarly, I want to see you also as Kiriti, the one who has a crown, as Gadi, that is, the one who has a mace, and Chakrahasta, the one who has a disc in his hand. The chakra is for destroying all kamas and krodhas, the evils. Shankha stands for Veda, and it beckons people to come to it. Kama and krodha may stand in your way, not allowing you to accomplish it. Therefore, the same grace of Ishvara will destroy kama and krodha using his chakra. The gada is for the destruction of the ahankara. All these you can accomplish when you surrender to me. implies the fourth hand pointing to his feet. This is the form in which the Lord is invoked and which Arjuna wishes to see. Tathaiva, so too, means he wants to see the original form as he has requested, and he also wants to see this form. I hope my voice in between was breaking, so I will just quickly repeat the last paragraph. The chakra is for destroying all kamas and krodhas, the enemies. Shankha stands for the Veda, and it beckons people to come to him. Kama and krodha may stand in your way, not allowing you to accomplish it. Therefore, the same grace of Ishvara will destroy Kama and Krodha using his chakra. The Gada is for the destruction of the Ahankara. All this you can accomplish when you surrender to me, implies the fourth hand pointing to his feet. This is the form in which the Lord is invoked and which Arjuna wishes to see. Tathaiva, so too, means he wants to see the original form as he has requested, and he also wants to see this form. Vishwamurte, O Lord who is in the cosmic form, O Lord of 1,000 hands, Sahasrabaho, may you be Bhava in that form which has only 4 hands. Te naiva rupena chaturbhujena. Arjuna is familiar with 2 forms of Krishna, one as a friend and the other the form he was invoking for prayer. He wants to see both of these, not the Vishwarupa. Shankara introduces the next verse, saying that recognizing that Arjuna was frightened, Krishna withdrew his cosmic form, consoling him with loving words. Shri Bhagavan Maya prasanne tavarjunedam rupam param darshitam yoga tejomayam vishwamanantamadhyam ne tadanyena na drishpurvam. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Arjuna, Maya prasannena, by me who is pleased with you. Idam, this, Rupam, form, Param, which is limitless, Tejamayam, full of brilliance, Vishwa, including everything, Ananta, without end, Adim, original, Yat me Rupam, form of mind, Tvad Anyena, by anyone other than you. Na drishta purvam, was never before seen. Atma yoga, through my power, tadarshitam, was shown to you. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Arjuna Maya prasannena idam rupam paramatejomayam vishwam anantam adyam yat me rupam tvad anyena na drishtapurvam atma yogat tava darshitam. Shri Bhagavan said, O Arjuna, by me who is pleased, this original form which is limitless, full of brilliance, includes everything and is without end. That form of mine which was never before seen by anyone other than you was shown to you through my power. This cosmic form was shown to Arjuna by the power of Bhagavan's Maya. It was a form that was all brilliance, Tejomaya, included everything, Vishwa, with no end, Ananta. And it is the original form, Adya, the one into which all other forms have gone. The cosmos came first, and within it, there are many other forms constantly being born. It was never seen before, na drishta purvam, by anyone except you, tvad anyena, says Bhagwan to Arjuna. How did he manage to see this? Arjuna managed to see this form because of the grace of Bhagavan. Therefore, Bhagavan says, on account of my power, Atma Yogat, I have shown you this effulgent form which includes every form because I am pleased with you. Maya prasannena idam rupam darshitam. Darshitam. This was not seen by anybody else but you. Arjuna was frightened by the cosmic form. Therefore, Krishna uses some consoling words to bring him back to his senses. He praises the vision of the cosmic form by saying how difficult it is to get. Shankara introduces the next verse with Krishna saying, by seeing my form, your wish is fulfilled. You have become Kritartha. Kritartha. I repeat as there was a breaking of voice. Arjuna was frightened by the cosmic form. Therefore, Krishna uses some consoling words to bring him back to his senses. He praises the vision of the cosmic form by saying how difficult it is to get. Shankara introduces the next verse with Krishna saying, by seeing my form, your wish is fulfilled. You have become Kritartha. Please let me know if you wish to repeat. Vedyajnadhyayane न वेदयज्ञाध्ययन दानैर्न न वेदयज्ञाध्ययनैर्न दानैर्न न च क्रियाभिर्न तपोभिरुग्रैः न वेदयज्ञाध्ययनैर्न दानैः न च I think I'm making mistake. वेदयज्ञाध्ययनैर्न दानैर्न न च क्रियाभिर्न तपोभिरुग्रैः एवं नृपश्यक्य अहं नृलोके द्रष्टुं त्वदन्येन कुरु प्रवीर. Kindly correct me if I was mistaken. न वेद यज्ञ अध्ययनेन नैः न वेद यज्ञ न वेद यज्ञ अध्ययनैः, not by study of the Vedas or rituals. न दानैः, not by charity. न च क्रियाभिः, not by performing rituals. न तपोभिः उग्रैः, not by severe austerities. Evam rupah, the one who is in this form. Aham drashtum shakyah, can I be seen? Nruloke, in the world of men. Tvad anyena, by anyone other than you. Kuru pravira, O bravest of Kurus. Na veda yajna adhyayanaihi, na danaihi, na cha kriyabhihi, na tapobhihi ugraihi. Evam rupah aham drashtum shakyah nruloke tvad anyena Kuru Pravira, not by study of the Vedas or rituals, not by charity, not by performing rituals, not by severe austerities can I, in this form, be seen in the world of man by anyone other than you, O bravest of the Kurus. Evam Rupaha Aham, I in this form. Na Shakyah Drashtum, cannot be seen. The sense organs have their limitations, so they cannot encompass the entire cosmic form. Each sense organ can only grasp a given sense object. Eyes can register form and color. Ears can perceive only sounds and so on. And all these also have a limited range. Beyond that, they have no scope. Even your imagination is something dependent entirely upon your sensory perception. You cannot stretch it to cover the cosmic form. That is why it was frightening to Arjuna. Of course, it was thrilling, but at the same time, so frightening because of the destruction he saw. Suppose I study the Veda, the scriptures, can I not see this cosmic form? No, the Lord says, not by study of the Veda. Na Veda Adhyayanaihi. Mere study of the Veda is not enough. You must have vichara. Learning to recite the Vedic mantras from a teacher is called Veda Adhyayana. The plural has been used here to indicate that even if you learn all four Vedas, you will not have the cosmic vision. Study of the Veda includes study of the rituals. Yajna Adhyayana. So, why this separate mention of Yajna Adhyayana? I repeat as there is a breaking of voice. The plural has been used here to indicate that even if you learn all four Vedas, you will not have the cosmic vision. Study of the Veda includes study of the rituals, Yajna Adhyayana. So why this separate mention of Yajna Adhyayana? One may know all about rituals, but still not know how to perform them. There is special study of Mimamsa, analysis for that. So, Yajna Adhyayana also implies a lot of vichara, inquiry. Therefore, Shankara says that the separate mention of the study of Yajna is meant only to imply knowledge of how to perform rituals. Yajna Vijnana. Therefore, the Lord says, by mere study of the Veda and the knowledge of rituals, I cannot be seen in this form. Only religious and spiritual practices are mentioned here because they are the most appropriate and efficacious when the Lord is the goal. But to see this form, you require a lot more. That is the idea. Nor can it be accomplished by charities. Na danaihi. Charity is a great action, and according to Shastra, it produces a lot of punya. Still, it is not enough. Shankara says, even if it is a gift of your weight in gold, Tula Purusha, it is not enough. That is a very great gift, but still not enough to see this form, nor is the performing of rituals. nacha kriyabhihi. Not even by all the rituals mentioned in the Veda, like Agnihotra, can this vision of the cosmic form be had, nor the most difficult ascetic religious practices. Na api tapobhihi ugraihi. Even severe disciplines like Chandrayana, Shankara says, are not enough. Chandrayana is a discipline where japa is combined with a type of fasting. You start on the full moon day eating your normal amount of food. The next day, you reduce it by 1/15th. The next day by another 1/15th. And so until the 15th day, the day when you eat nothing. The following day, you eat 1/15 of your regular food intake. The next day, another 1/15. You have reached your full food intake full moon day. As the moon wanes and waxes, so does your food intake. This is very difficult to do. So Shankara mentions it specially. But even by such terrible tapas, the vision of this cosmic form cannot be gained. In spite of doing all these heroic things, no one has had the cosmic vision except you, Arjuna, says the Lord. He got it easily, merely for the asking. That is the point here. Krishna addresses him as Kuru Pravira, the one who is the bravest in the Kuru family. माते व्यथा मा च विमूढ भावो दृष्ट्वा रूपं घोरमिदग्ममेदम् व्यपेतभिः प्रीतमनः पुनस्त्वं तदेव मे रूपमिदं प्रपश्य. Kindly correct me if my pronunciation of ghora midangam eva.
Yeah. Shall I just chant that?
Yeah, please. I think I chanted.
माते व्यथा मा च विमूढ भावो दृष्ट्वा रूपं घोरमीदृग्ममेदम् व्यपेतभिः प्रीतमनः पुनस्त्वं तदेव मे रूपमिदं प्रपश्य. Idrikmamedam. That is, it becomes a sandhi, so it becomes idringmamedam. But when you separate it, it becomes idrik and then matevyatha.
This is that antim varna of kavarga, right?
Yeah.
Drishtva, seeing idam ghoram rupam, this frightening form, mama of mine, idrika of this type, mate vyatha, may you not have fear, ma cha vimudha bhavaha, and may you not be confused, vyapeta bihi san, being one whose fear has gone, pritamanah san, being pleased, punah, tad eva me rupa idam, that particular form of mind, tvam prapashya, may you see. Drishtva idam ghoram rupam mama idrika mate vyata ma cha vimudha bhavaha vyapeta bihi san priyanah san punah tad eva me rupam idam tvam prapashya. may you not have fear, and may you not be confused seeing this type of frightening form of mind, being free from fear and pleased again. May you see that particular form of mind. I repeat, may you not have fear and may you not be confused seeing this type of frightening form of mind, being free from fear and pleased again. May you see that particular form of mind. So compassionate Bhagwan is. Now, Krishna tells Arjuna that he need not be afraid seeing his cosmic form, which is sometimes frightening and cruel, ghora. He says, let there not be any fear for you. Ma te vyatha. He means, I am going to withdraw this form. Arjuna was distressed that he did not know which was right or left, north or south. So Krishna says, may you not be confused. Ma cha vimudha bhavah te. Then with Krishna's blessing, he is vyapeta tabhi. Vyapeta bhi. The one, I hope I'm reading it correctly, Vyapeta bhi. Vyapeta bhi. Vyapeta bhi. Kshamyata. Vyapeta bhi. The one from whom fear has gone. I repeat, then with Krishna's blessing, he is Vyapeta bhi, the one from whom fear has gone. Even when one is free from fear, one may still be just in a neutral state. Not so here. Not only is he not afraid, but is also pleased. Being no longer afraid and being pleased. Vyapeta bihi prita manah punah. Prita manah punah. Prita manah punah. Bhagavan says, may you see this very form that you wanted to see. Tadeva idam rupam prapasya. He means prapasya or prapasya. He means the form with Shankha and Chakra, the one that Arjuna had requested to see in addition to the original form. This is Arjuna's Ishta Devata, the particular form in which he chooses to worship the Lord. It is easy for him to relate to and becomes an altar of worship for him. Therefore, Krishna says, please see, prapashya. Now, Sanjaya narrates the situation. If you want me to read any paragraph once again, please do let me know. So out of compassion, Bhagwan is like a small kid. He's telling Arjuna not to be afraid, and he's again showing him out of again his grace, because he's very pleased with Arjuna. He's showing him the Chaturbhuja Rupa with Shankha Chakra Gada. Now Sanjaya narrates the situation. Sanjaya Uvacha Ityarjunam Vasudevasthoktva Swakam Nupam Shayamasa Bhuyah आश्वासयामास च भीतं भूत्वा पुनः सौम्य वपुर्महात्मा Sanjayah Uvacha said, Iti, thus Vasudeva Krishna Arjuna to Arjuna Tatha Uktva, having spoken in this way, Bhuyah again, Swakam Rupam, his own form, Darshaya Masa, he showed, Cha, and Mahatma, the Lord, Punah, again, Saumya Vapuhu, the one who has a pleasing body, Bhutva, having become, Bhitam Enam, him who was frightened, Ashwasayamasa, consoled. Sanjayah Uvacha Iti Vasudevah Arjunam Tatha Uktva Bhuyah Swakam Rupam Darshayamasa Cha Mahatma Punah Saumya Vapuhu Bhutva Bhitam Enam Ashwasayamasa. Sanjaya said, thus Krishna, having spoken in this way to Arjuna, showed his own form again and consoled him. Sanjaya said, thus Krishna, having spoken in this way to Arjuna, showed his own form again and consoled him, who was frightened, having once more become the Lord with a pleasing form. Sanjaya says that after saying these words to Arjuna, Iti Arjunam Vasudevah Tatha Uktva, Krishna once more showed Arjuna his form in this particular incarnation, Swakam Rupam Darshayamasa Bhuyah. Swakam Rupam Darshayamasa Bhuyah. And he also consoled him. Ashwasya Masa Cha. Ashwasya Masa Cha. Arjuna was afraid, Bhita, and Krishna calmed him down by assuming his original form. He became the Lord, Mahatma, in the pleasing form with which Arjuna was familiar. Here, the Lord is Mahatma. He is everything, and He is the self of everyone. Mahan cha asau Atma. Mahan cha asau Atma iti Mahatma. Now he assumes a body that is very pleasing to the mind. Saumya Vapuhu. And thus easy to handle. Previously, Arjuna did not see the limits of the body. It encompassed the whole cosmos. Once he sees Krishna back again, he comes to his senses and is greatly relieved. He says so here in so many words. Arjuna Uvacha Drashtevadam Manusham. I hope I'm correct. Drashtevadam Manusham Rupam. Drashtvedam. I think this is back to the same Anushtup Chanda, right?
Drishtvedam manusham rupam tava saumyam janardana idanimasmi samvrittaha Sacheta prakritim gataha. Drishtvedam.
Drishtvedam.
Yeah.
Drishtvedam Manusham. Dhanyavad. Arjuna Uvacha said, Janardana Krishna, Tava of yours, Drishtva, seeing, idam this, Saumyam, pleasing, Manusham, human, Rupam, form, Idani, now, Aham Asmi Samvritaha, I have become, Sachetaha, cheerful, Prakritim, Gataha, reached my original condition. Arjuna Uvacha, Janardana Tava Drishtva Idam Saumyam Manusham Rupam Idanim Asmi Samvrutaha Sachetaha Prakritim Gataha. Arjuna said, seeing this pleasing human form of yours, Krishna, now I have become cheerful and restored to my original nature. Not only does Lord Krishna come back to his original form, the Gita also returns to its original meter. For the most part, the Gita is in Anushtup, but ever since Arjuna began seeing the cosmic form, it has been in Trishtup. Now the Anushtup meter is restored. The meter is a chanda. So the whole Bhagavad Gita is in Anushtup chanda, except this Vishwarup Darshana, where it is in Trishtup chanda. Krishna is now identifiable as a human being. Arjuna, seeing this human form, idam manusham rupam drishtva, that was so pleasing, Saumya, addressing Krishna as Janardana, says, now I have collected myself. Idanim samrittah asmi. I am pleased and cheerful. Sachetah, and have come back to my original disposition of mind. Prakritim gatah. Previously he was frightened and afflicted. Now, seeing this familiar form of Krishna, he is pleased. Lord Krishna reinforces Arjuna's pleased frame of mind by telling him how lucky he is. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Sudurdarshamidam Rupam Drishtvanasi Yanmama Deva Apyasya Rupasya Nityam Darshana Kankshinaha. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha said, Sududarshanam. Now, Sududarsham. Very difficult to see. Idam Rupam, this form. Mama, of mine. Drishtvan asi. You are the one who has seen. Yet, which? Devaha api. Even the gods. Asya Rupasya, of this form. Nityam, always. Darshana Kankshinaha. Remain desirous of seeing. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Sududarsham Idam Rupam Mama Drishtvan Asi Yat Devaha Api Asya Rupasya Nityam Darshan Kankshinaha. Shri Bhagavan said, you have seen this form of mine, which is very difficult to see. Even the gods always remain desirous of seeing this form. The form which Arjuna has just seen. Krishna tells him is seen only with great difficulty. Sududarsha. It is not easily available for perception and is in fact almost impossible to see. Nevertheless, you are the one who has seen it. Drishtvan asitvam. Even the gods have a constant desire to see this form. Devaha api asya rupasya nityam darshan kankshinaha. They are always praying for such a cosmic vision. You are lucky, Arjuna, because you have seen something which nobody else has seen. That is what Krishna wants to convey here. Why is he so lucky? Naham vedirna tapasa na danena na chejaya. Kshamyata. Naham vedirna tapasa na danena na chejaya. Shakya evam vido drashtum drishtvanasi mam yatha. Kindly correct me if my pronunciation was wrong. Na aham drashtum shakyah. I cannot be seen. Evam vidaha, in this form. Vedaihi, by study of the Vedas. Na tapasa, nor by tapas. Na danena, nor by charity. Nacha ijyaya, nor by worship. Drishtvan asi, you are the one who has seen. Mam, me, yatha, in this way. Na aham drashtum shakyah. Evam vidah vedaihi na tapasa na danena na cha ijjaya drishtvan asi mam yatha. I cannot be seen in this form by study of the Vedas, nor by ascetic practices, nor by charity, nor by worship. You are the one who has seen me in this way. Here Bhagavan repeats what he has said before. Generally, repetition is considered a defect, but not in teaching. In this case, it is an introduction to the two very important verses that follow. Not by knowing the four Vedas, na veihi, not by great ascetic practices, na tapasa, not by charity, na danena, and not even by ritual, ijjaya, ijjaya. Previously, he said yagna, which was shrauta, which was shrauta, only includes those rituals we know from the Veda. Ijjaya, which he uses here, can include smarta rituals like puja, etc. Even by all these various methods, I cannot be seen in this form. Aham evam vidaha drashtum na shakyah. In the form that Arjuna has been able to see him, no one else has seen in spite of great efforts. Though a repetition of the previous verse, this verse has been introduced here to provoke a question. If this vision is not attainable by all these practices, yagna, dana, tapas, etc., how then is it possible for one to see you? He answers this in the next verse. Bhaktya tvananyaya shakya ahmevam vidhorjuna ज्ञातुं द्रष्टुं च तत्तेन praveshtum cha parantapa. Bhaktadu, but with devotion, ananyaya, in which there is no other, Arjuna, O Arjuna, evam vidaha, in this form, aham, I, gnatum drashtum cha shakyaha, can be known and seen. Tatvena praveshtum cha, and we entered into reality. Parantapa, O scorcher of the enemies, Arjuna. Bhaktyatu ananyaya, Arjuna, evam vidah aham gnatum drashtum cha shakyah tatvena praveshtum cha parantapa. But with devotion in which there is no other, it is possible, O Arjuna, that I can be known and can be entered into in reality. O scorcher of enemies, this is surely in keeping with the Shastra. There is no longer any magic here. It is possible to see me in this form, Krishna says, by a devotion that admits of no other. Ananya Bhaktya. Ananya Bhaktya. Anya means another. Ananya means without any other. Therefore, a devotion which does not imply any other thing is Ananya Bhakti. What does it mean? This has been interpreted to mean that only by devotion to Krishna, not Rama or any other god, that you get this vision of Ishvara. But the meaning here is a devotion in which there is only Ishvara, none other. I repeat this paragraph, please pay attention. This is purely in keeping with the Shastra. There is no longer any magic here. It is possible to see me in this form, Krishna says, by a devotion that admits of no other. Ananya Bhaktya. Anya means another. Ananya means without any other. Therefore, a devotion which does not imply any other thing is Ananya Bhakti. What does it mean? This has been interpreted to mean that only by devotion to Krishna, not Rama or other god, that you get this vision of Ishvara. But the meaning here is a devotion in which there is only Ishvara, none other. Generally, we are committed or devoted to a number of things: money, one's partner, duty, and so on. And there is a little bit of devotion to God also. On certain days of the week or at certain times of the day, we turn our attention towards God. Because our devotion is divided among various things, God has to wait for his turn. When money making and counting is over, when devotion to music, to this and to that is all over, Bhagwan gets his chance, the last chance. Then slowly a person finds that the little bit of devotion he had for the Lord has grown to cover a few more things. He finds that money also is Bhagwan, wife is Bhagwan, children are Bhagwan, till finally the whole world is Bhagwan. That is Ananya Bhakti. The devotion goes nowhere else except to Bhagwan. That requires a lot of inquiry. The more you look into it, the more you see Ishvara as everything. There is nothing other than Ishvara. Your devotion to the Lord grows as you understand who He is, until I think there is too much of breaking of voice. Uh, can someone just read, because this is very, very important uh, topic. Can someone help to read this last, please? Madhuri ji or yeah, please, Dhanyavad.
From here, generally we are committed, yes, or this is purely in keeping?
I think there was too much of breaking of voice, so please find it as from where you feel that it was disturbing, because this is very beautiful paragraph.
Generally we are, or it is purely in keeping? From
yeah.
Which? This is purely in keeping?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Just 1 second. I'll read from my text because this screen I am not comfortable. This is purely in keeping with the Shastra. There is no longer any magic here. It is possible to see me in this form, Krishna says, by a devotion that admits of no other Ananya Bhaktya. Anya means another. Ananya means without any other. Therefore, a devotion which does not imply any other thing is Ananya Bhakti. What does it mean? This has been interpreted to mean that only by devotion to Krishna, not Rama or any other god, that you get this vision of Ishvara. But the meaning here is a devotion in which there is only Ishvara, none other. Generally, we are committed or devoted to a number of things: money, one's partner, duty, and so on. And there is a little bit of devotion to God also. On certain days of the week or at certain times of the day, we turn our attention towards God. Because our devotion is divided among various things, God has to wait for his turn. When money making and counting is over, when devotion to music, to this and to that is all over, Bhagwan gets his chance, the last chance. Such an irony. Then slowly a person finds that the little bit of devotion he had for the Lord has grown to cover a few more things. He finds that money also is Bhagwan, wife is Bhagwan, children are Bhagwan, till finally the whole world is Bhagwan. This is Ananya Bhakti. The devotion goes nowhere else. The devotion goes now here else except to Bhagwan. That requires a lot of inquiry, vichara. The more you look
into madam, it is nowhere else. The devotion goes nowhere else except
there was some mistake. The devotion goes nowhere else except to Bhagwan. That requires a lot of inquiry, vichara. The more you look into it, the more you see Ishvara as everything. There is nothing other than Ishvara. Your devotion to the Lord grows as you understand who he is until you find that there is nothing outside. This is Ananya Bhakti. If that is your devotion, the whole world is Bhagwan. What else is the cosmic form but that? Arjuna had excluded himself in the cosmic vision. But here you are totally included. That is why a real cosmic vision is possible only through jnana. Jnana. It has to include the observer, or it is not complete. It is not cosmic. Krishna makes it clear by adding tatvena. Tat, is it right? Tatvena, in reality. It is possible to truly see me in this form only by Ananya Bhakti. I can be seen and known. Aham gyatum drashtum cha sakhyah. Sakhyah. Because he has said, see, the jnana is not mere paroksha jnana through study of the Shastra. It is clear, immediate knowledge. If you understand that there is Brahman who is infinite and the cause of creation, it is indirect knowledge, paroksha jnana. But if you know I am the cause, it is direct knowledge, aparoksha jnana. That step is a very big step and is what they call darshana, vision. It is seeing it in reality, tattvena, because it is a knowledge which includes the person who sees. That knowledge of the Lord, which includes the individual, is what they call tattva jnana. And what is the result? Thereby he gains moksha, he enters into and become one with Ishvara. He is no longer separate from the Lord, even when the body dies. Parveshtum means to enter, but it is like a wave entering into the ocean in the sense of understanding that it is water, not a wave. That is pravesha, the knowledge that releases the wave from being a separate entity. This is called moksha and is accomplished, Krishna points out here, by Ananya Bhakti. Only with an appreciation that there is no other thing except Ishvara is it possible for you to see me in this original form. What Arjuna saw was not truly the cosmic form. The real cosmic form has to be understood to include you. These are all things that must be properly understood. Otherwise, you can embark upon an eternal struggle to see the cosmic form by intensifying your acts of devotion. Even if you see it, you will be as frightened as Arjuna. Therefore, it is important to understand that Ananya Bhakti is seeing only Bhagwan and is only possible through knowledge, a knowledge that includes the knower. In the next verse, Lord Krishna sums up the chapter and also that has been said so far. Introducing the verse, Shankara says that now the entire teaching of Gita is given in a nutshell here. This is the essence of the entire Gita Shastra, which is meant for moksha. And this moksha has to be pursued with the help of either of the two lifestyles. One of the total commitment to knowledge, where knowledge is pursued to the exclusion of everything else, or knowledge is pursued along with the lifestyle of Karma Yoga. I read this line again. And this moksha has to be pursued with the help of either of the two lifestyles. One of total commitment to knowledge, where knowledge is pursued to the exclusion of everything else, or knowledge is pursued along with lifestyle of Karma Yoga. This includes not only what has already been said, but what may be said later. This is what is said by Krishna. Belaji, you can chant. Mat karma.
I will chant, okay? I'll chant, no problem. Mat karma krinmat paramaha mad bhakta sanga varjitaha nirvaira sarva bhuteshu yasamameti pandava.
Sarva bhuteshu, among all people, yah, the one, mat karm krit, does all action for my sake, mat parama, for whom I am paramount, mad bhakta, who is devoted to me, sang varjitaha, who is free from attachment, nirvairha, who is free from enmity, samam eti, he comes to me, Pandava Arjuna. Sarva bhuteshu mat karm krit, mat paramah, mad bhakta, sang varjitaha, nirvairha, samam eti, Pandava. Among all people, the one who does all action for my sake, for whom I am paramount, who is devoted to me, free from attachment and free from enmity, comes to me, Arjuna. The one who has all the thing listed here, the one who has all the thing listed here is the one who reaches me, Saha Mam Iti. Krishna says here, addressing Arjuna as Pandava, the son of Pandu. Who is that person? Mat Karmakrit. The one who performs action is a Karmakrit. Here it is someone who performs all his daily duties, etc., not for dharma or artha or kama, but for moksha, which is Ishvara Swarupa. He engages in all his various activities, keeping Ishvara in the center, because for him the Lord is to be accomplished, nothing else. He is Mat Karmakrit. His karmas are performed not out of raga dvesha, but out of respect for dharma and adharma. This is an important thing to understand. What does it mean to perform action for the sake of the Lord? We hear this all the time, but what does it really mean? How can I perform an action for the sake of Ishvara? If Ishvara specifically tells me to do something for his sake, I can do it, as we often do for others. But Ishvara does not directly ask me for anything. How am I to know what pleases him and what displeases him? Some say that one must undertake all actions saying Narayana. But how does simply saying his name make it an offering to him? How am I to dedicate my karma to the Lord? Even if I say, "O Lord, I dedicate this karma to you," neither the action nor the result goes to the Lord. Mat karma krit is one of those vaguely understood words we find in Gita. But earlier, Bhagwan explained it very clearly, saying, Raga Dvesha Vasam na agachet. Do not come under the hold of likes and dislike. And Swadharma Nidhanam. And Swadharme Nidhanam. Shreya Paradharma Bhayavaha.
Swadharme Nidhanam Shreyaha.
Nidhanam Shreya
Paradharmo
Bhayavaha. Death in one's own dharma is better. The dharma of another is fraught with fear. What is to be done in a given situation is swadharma. Within the societal divisions of Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Swakarma or Swadharma is very clear. When that structure is absent, as is the case even in India today, then Swakarma is the appropriate course of action in a given situation. This can conflict with what I like or do not like to do. As long as what is to be done is in keeping with my raga, or what is not to be done corresponds to my dvesha, there is no problem. But more often than not, dharma and adharma are pitted against raga and dvesha. This is the Devasura Yuddha, the war between gods and asuras. When raga dvesha are in keeping with what is to be done, they assume the status of dharma. They cannot rightly be called raga dveshas unless they are in conflict with dharma. And we should know that what is against dharma is against Bhagwan, because he is the moral order. In human interaction, we sense these natural laws and learn to adjust our behavior accordingly. But the laws are not created by us. They are Ishvara Shrishti, which is why they are universal. Without any education, every human being has knowledge of dharma and adharma. At least we are very clear about what others should and should not do to us. That we all commonly sense. And when we all commonly sense something, that is order. Moreover, the moral order and free will are connected. We do not have a faculty of choice. If we did not, there would be no necessity for a moral order because we would be perfectly programmed like the animals. But there is a free will and it is intimately connected to the moral order. Because I have a free will, I can always align it with my raga dvesha and go against the order. It does not join dharma all the time. We can understand that the moral order is the Lord's creation. Then we take it one step further. If you understand that what is created is non-separate from the Lord, you are a jnani and will spontaneously act in harmony with dharma. If you are not aware of this, you will follow Bhagwan's order. Shall I read this line again? We can understand that the moral order is the Lord's creation. Then we take it one step further. If you understand that what is created is non-separate from the Lord, you are a jnani and will spontaneously act in harmony with dharma. If you are not aware of this, you will follow Bhagwan's order. Understanding dharma as Bhagwan's creation, you adjust your behavior to conform with dharma. Doing karma for Ishvara's sake means for dharma's sake, not for the sake of raga dveshas. As a karma yogi, one is not interested in dharma, artha, kama. Although he has raga dvesha, his actions are done as a yoga for moksha's sake. Then he is mat karma krit. Even though someone may be worshipping the Lord, if he is doing it for heaven or some other end, he is not mat karma krit. He is really doing it for the sake of his own raga dveshas. A mat karma krit is a karma yogi who is a mumukshu. His pursuit is moksha, but because he is not a sannyasi, he has certain mandatory duties. Mat Parama means the one for whom the Lord is the most important. Shankara says that his attitude towards the Lord is like a servant to his master. As a servant does everything to please his master, this person does everything only to please the Lord. But performing karma for Ishvara is a little different from performing action for someone else. In doing something for someone, though you may want to please the person, you do not look upon the person as an end. Here, the whole purpose of performing action for Ishvara is to become one with Ishvara, the Parama Gatihi. This is the ultimate end reaching, which there is no other end wished for or possible. That is the purpose of his Karma Yoga. He pursues knowledge, doing his duties as a yoga. By Karma Yoga, he gains Antakarana Shuddhi and therefore is ready for Jnana. Mat Parama is the one for whom Ishvara is the ultimate end to be reached. He does not lose sight of that. Being a Mat Parama, how does he live his life? He is Mad Bhakta. With his whole heart and soul, he is devoted to the Lord. Whatever he does, studying Shastra, doing japa, singing the glories of Bhagwan, he does with great enthusiasm. It is natural because one is always enthusiastic about what one loves. He knows very clearly that Ishvara is the end to be accomplished, for which he is a karma yogi. When Mat Parama and Mat Karma Krit have already been said, Why is it necessary to say Madbhakta? Without devotion, he will not be able to do all that is necessary to be a karma yogi. He may be doing his swakarma, but if his understanding of moksha is vague, his bhakti will also be vague. Bhagavan says, Mad Bhakta here to indicate his enthusiasm. It shows that his commitment is complete. And he is Sangha Varjita. And he is Sangha Varjita, free from attachment. Attachment is usually to an object. Shankara mentions a few of them here. Dhana, wealth, putra, son or daughter, mitra, friend, kalatra, wife, bandhu, relatives. These are all things to which you can become attached. A friend can be an object of obsession. So can wealth, children, etc. Sangha Varjita is a person who is free from such obsessive attachment, which is really emotional dependence. He has affection, love, etc., but is not dependent on any of these for his sense of well-being. Shall I continue, or I think one page is left? Yes, Dr.
We
Brahma.
will continue. We'll continue today, and maybe tomorrow we'll repeat this before we go on to chapter 12.
Sure.
We'll continue this.
Okay. If you have Sangha, several other problems follow in its wake. Anxiety, pain, etc. and Raga Dveshas become predominant. It is an ongoing problem. There is always some misunderstanding or another with a relative. No sooner do you resolve that, then there is a problem with your spouse or child. The entire life gets consumed in pleasing people. It is endless because there will always be misunderstandings. So we decide to understand the whole thing more fundamentally. We appreciate the nature of the mind and develop an awareness of what detachment is. In different degrees, everyone experiences the problems surrounding excessive emotional involvement. It is a universal problem. So we become conscious of the fact that we are subject to emotional involvement and try to understand what it is. With that awareness, we can enjoy relationships instead of having them to be problematic. In fact, they help us to grow. Unless we relate, how do we know whether we have an emotional involvement? The involvement arises because of a need, and it is that which creates the problem. Once the need is detected, a certain detachment is called for, and that cannot come without understanding. In the process of inquiry, you gather an awareness of yourself and understand your behavior. You learn what situations you have to avoid until the time comes when you are able to interact without getting emotionally involved. Then you only give in a relationship. As long as we take, there is dependence. Without dependence, you can give freely of your affection, love, and sympathy. Without dependence, you can give freely of your affection, love, and sympathy. And he is without enmity, nirvaira. Sometimes people behave in a way that is inimical to you. But if you are committed to your own maturity, you will question yourself. Perhaps I invoke enmity. Otherwise, why should he be inimical to me? I do not say we should internalize everything, but we must be responsible for our emotions and actions. And each person behave according to his or her own mind. If this is understood, problems are greatly minimized. The animals, etc., including mosquitoes, are all above reproach. They just do what Bhagwan has programmed them to do. You cannot blame a mosquito for biting, but you can keep away from it. It is much the same with human beings. Even if they are totally committed to activities which are inimical to you, they are to be understood as human beings whose behavior, like all other human beings, is helplessly dictated by their past. If you had the same past, you would behave in exactly the same way. Knowing this, there cannot be any enmity. We allow people to be as they are. This is dispassion, which is possible only with a certain maturity. To gain that, we keep analyzing our responses. One who has all these characteristics become one with me, Mam iti, I am the ultimate, the only end for him. Suppose you have become one with Bhagwan, then what will you do? What can you not do? You are free, you are full. There is no isolation. This is the most desirable teaching. Arjuna asked for this and Krishna taught him everything. Om Tat Sat iti Srimad Bhagavad Gitasu Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre Shri Krishna Arjuna Samvade Vishwarupa Darshana Yogo Nama Ekadasho Dhyayah. Thus, in the Bhagavad Gita, which is but Upanishad in the dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, thus ends the 11th chapter, which has its topic, the Vishwarupa, the vision of the cosmic form. Thank you. It was very elaborate and very...
Dhanyavad, Savyaji. You read so well, very beautiful.
We have to repeat it tomorrow again. Yeah.
Yeah, Jai Gurudev. Especially this last one, shloka, has so much of indications of directions, how we need to live as karma yogis. What are all included in that mat karma krit, mat bhaktaha. And the very fact that this cosmic form is not possible even for the devas. And in order to gain that, what is required is bhakti.
But one question I have, Arjuna was not in totally bhakti. How come like he was like
No, I think
Ishvara?
in the Vibhuti Yoga itself, he starts, no, he tells him, he says, I want to know where all I should, in what all forms I have to meditate upon you. And that is when he actually, there is the beginning of bhakti there. He starts transforming and he says, I want to see all of that in one form.
But he was just starting. He was not totally like in that form, which Ishvara tells everyone to be in, like in Ananya Bhakti. Arjuna was just initiating, but still he got that cosmic, he visualized this cosmic form, and Bhagwan himself agreed.
Yeah, but he did not get the actual cosmic form because he saw himself separate from him. That is why he was scared.
Okay,
because that jnana was missing for him. See, the jnana and bhakti both actually are the same there. The jnana that everything is pervaded by Ishvara. There is nothing apart from him. That is the jnana. That was missing from Arjuna. That little link was missing, which is why he became scared. He became fearful. But the actual cosmic form in absolute measure, where there is no difference, that anya, even that antara is not there, that little bit of difference between you and Ishvara is not there, happens when one has that bhakti. Arjuna was shown this cosmic form because he asked him. And because he's dear to him, Krishna showed him this cosmic form, minus Arjuna, so to say.
So this was the difference, that Arjuna wasn't included. So right,
wasn't included.
And
so that is why
form, the form which is prayed by everyone, he showed it twice. That is why. So that bhakti develops, like it takes over Arjuna. Twice he showed it. Okay.
And towards the end, how Arjuna's tone changes. He says, I'm so apologetic. He says, I was calling you as Sakha, I was calling you as a friend, I was calling you as Hey Krishna, Hey Adava, Hey Sakheti. And I didn't realize who you truly are. Now I know that you're Jagannivasa. I know that you're Parameshwara. So he turns completely, he turns his attitude towards Krishna changes. And how we prioritize or deprioritize Bhagwan. It's on the base of all the to-do list. If we have time, we pray. But that is not how it should be. That bhakti is where you see Ishvara. That Ananya Bhakti is where you see Ishvara in everything that you do. In your wife, in your husband, in your child, in your job, in your sadhana, all of that. If we are able to see Bhagwan and we are offering it to him, everything, that is what is that Ananya Bhakti. It is not praying only to Krishna and not praying to Rama and Hanuman or Ganesha. That is not Ananya Bhakti. Ananya Bhakti is seeing just that one in everything. Today's session was very beautiful. I know we don't have time to recap and chant all the shlokas.
But
What I
just
suggest we do.
one thing, Dr. Brahma, only this part which we are mainly caught up with, like this is about the enmity, nirvaira, na? People behave in mickle way. That was very profound. Like we are blaming people, no? Why like how they are doing like this, why do they perform, so you have that enmity. So it is that they are dictated by their past. They are behaving because they are carrying those gunas with them. The past, they are doing action because of their past deeds or prarabdha karma, and of course their gunas. So but still knowing this knowledge also, still we get caught up. This is
Maya.
Yeah,
that is
so
a Maya.
we have to again and again,
You're very
people,
true. Which is why Swami Vivekananda says, how can you judge people? Because each one is the result, his or her life, his or her actions, interactions, or words is a result of the combination of the sattva, rajas, tamo gunas, which is again dependent on his past karma, his past vasanas, whatever impressions he's had. Each of us is a bag of that. And how we project ourselves, how we deal with people, what we say, what we do is all mainly governed by that. Although there is the element of free will which differentiates us from the other animals, but how many of us are actually using our free will? How many of us are being just tossed and turned over by our past impressions and vasanas? So that makes the difference. So therefore, this nirvairaha sangavarjitaha. Beautiful. I mean, this last shloka kind of sums it up for us. It is like giving us a roadmap as how we need to live our life. Very beautiful. So I think tomorrow what we'll do is we'll chant the rest of the shlokas that we covered today, and then we'll go through this, maybe the last few verses one more time, and we'll have a little extended manana. And I will request if Nana can come on for a session, because he said after every end of every chapter, time permitting and based on the internet availability and all that he will come on, which means either Friday or Saturday we will have a session. Huh? I'll confirm that to you, and then we'll get on to.
We started with which shloka today? I joined late, sorry.
I think it was 43rd, 44th verse.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. So, and then we'll get on to chapter 12, Bhakti Yoga. Yeah. Jai Gurudev. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat. Shri Krishnarpanamastu. Jai Gurudev.